All right, we're live. Mona's in the building. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's been like forever since we last spoke with each other. How's it been?
Everything's going good.
Yeah.
Working. Yeah.
The last time we spoke, you were just Ramona Wilkerson. What are you now? What's your last name now?
Hosting. Got married
Oh,
in January. So, yep.
I'm so excited. Oh my God, I can't believe it. When you told me that, I was like, what? Girl, it's
Yeah.
like God just blew the doors and blessings open for you.
Has he been?
How?
Has he been? Yes, he has.
I mean, car, house, job. Now you got the husband. I'm like, yo, God, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Long time coming. Long time coming. Speaking of job, talk a little bit about that.
All right. So, as far as work, I'm the director of Passaic County Jail here in New Jersey and the director of nursing, rather. And I
Nice.
also work for Hudson Regional Hospital, which is in the Hudson County area as well. It's in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Uh huh.
I'm a nursing supervisor there, preferably every other weekend. Usually I'm there for 16 hours every other weekend. I'll be on my way after this broadcast. So yeah, front lines of COVID-19.
Girl, you trying to
Um,
get all the money. And then on top of that, even more important than that, oh my God, like you are really out there during this pandemic.
yeah.
Really out
So
there. I was
I,
thinking to myself how sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I was thinking to myself how, everyone is talking about like essential workers and stuff like that and how important it is. And not even like how like I'm wondering and I want you to help us out with that. Being an essential worker, you're a nurse. And nurses are like hands on. Big up to all the nurses out there. I remember trying nursing school and I couldn't do it. Like I had to keep it real with myself. I love people. I love caring for people, but I just decided I'm just gonna have to care for them another way. Now, being an essential worker, a nurse, hands on with everyone, like what is it like? What is your like mindset when you're going to work, knowing that we are in these crazy times with the COVID-19? Like what is your mind like? What is it like going to work?
okay, so first off, like my role, we got to start off with my role. My
Hmm.
role as a director and as a nursing supervisor, where I'm the head person generally is a major role because you got to be the motivator, you got to be
Hmm.
able to motivate your staff. You know what I mean? Everybody, it's just so much going on. Like, um, my whole department,
Hmm.
almost my whole department, well, at least half of the whole department at Passaic were all COVID-19, and
Wow.
we had a nice amount of officers COVID-19. We have COVID-19 in the building over there, as far as some of the inmates or what have you, but just keeping everybody motivated and keeping their spirits up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Is always my main goal, because I don't directly do direct patient care anymore because of
Okay.
my management position, but I still have to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And like I said, motivation is everything, because like, people are losing their relatives. It's just so much going on, and you still have to show up and provide patient care. So I try to do as much as I can. For instance, I've been taking donations
Okay.
for meals, and
Okay.
people have been sending meals. It doesn't even have to be in the form of money. It could be just send the meal directly to the jail. I've been doing that because I'm there majority of the time at the jail. That's my full-time position. So I've
Okay.
been like managing to make sure that I can provide some type of meal for them to put a smile on their face, at least throughout the work
Okay.
that they're doing. So days that I can't get the donation, then me and my partner will go in and at least get something, pizzas, whatever, just to have something, because the kitchen, they usually feed the staff there, but the kitchen
Hmm.
is not all what it should be, due to the fact that everything is limited right now
Hmm.
because of COVID-19. They're not, the regular kitchen movement on what it was before is not the same. So
Hmm.
maybe they might give a salad every day, but you're talking about nurses that's working 8, sometimes 12, sometimes 16-hour shifts a day. You know what I mean?
So you
So I've
talked
been like,
about. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you. Before you move on, because I want the notice to go out there. I want people to be, in case for those who want to donate and want to participate in helping out. Can you talk about, like, tell us where, like, what to donate, where to donate it, um, when, how can we get the donations to you? Talk about that just briefly before we move on, because
okay,
people want to help. People really want to help.
okay. So basically, if you want to donate, is there any way like I could put like, my phone number or whatever? You could
Okay.
post it somewhere after this.
Yes, I'll do that. I'll
Otherwise,
do
if
that.
you just want to directly send it to me, I'm at Passaic County Jail in Paterson, New Jersey, and you can put attention, Ramona Wilkerson, on it. Whether it's packs, of water, cases of water or whatever. We just not allowed to have any bottles, glass bottles or any cans. So if it's like plastic sodas or whatever bottles or something like that is
So
fine.
people just drop it off directly
You can
to the
drop it
jail.
off. You can drop it off in the front and just, put my name, attention, Ramona Wilkerson Medical Department, and they'll give it to me. Yeah,
Okay.
you can do
Okay.
that.
And that's Passaic County Jail, you
Yeah,
said?
or
Okay.
if you want to donate cash for a meal, you can send it to $ Ramona Wilkerson for Cash App.
Okay.
Yeah, and just put, who you are, and that the meal is, you're donating for a meal for the Passaic nurses, and I'll know, and then I'll take it
Okay.
and order something for them.
Nice.
That's
So
probably about
so
it.
so you would prefer, when it comes to the meals, just to clarify, you would prefer monetary donations versus food donations, because I know
It
people are a
doesn't even
little
matter.
skeptical. Okay.
It doesn't even matter. It's different people prefer different things. Everybody's time set is different. Some people may
Okay.
say, okay, well, I'm home, so I could go ahead and sit down on the phone and order 4 pizzas to go over there. Some people may not have that time and may say, I want to donate, but I really don't have the time because I'm working myself,
Right.
to actually do it. So it's either way. I appreciate it either way around. It doesn't have to be money.
Okay.
You could just order the meal and send it there, but you would have to coordinate, because I would never want 2 meals to come in the same day and anything to go to waste. So that's
Gotcha.
why you would need, to text me or, reach out to me. My email is monajr2003@yahoo.com. That's my personal email.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can
Yeah.
always just, email me and just let me
Okay.
know that you want to send it on a specific day. And as long as that day is still open for, donate, because we try to organize it so that we don't have too much stuff coming at one time, so it don't go to waste. So that
Gotcha.
they have something each and every day. And
Gotcha.
generally I usually get for about 30 workers, because we feed
Okay.
everybody across the shifts.
Okay. Okay. So I'll have that information somewhere, so everyone can
Yeah, and I can send you some when
participate.
we hang up from here so that you'll have, all of the details to be able to
Gotcha.
move it.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. And now going back, there was something that you mentioned when you talked about your role, and I feel that it's very important, especially during this time with the pandemic, and how it's causing people to kind of shift their life, basically, like rearrange their life, which is causing you know like things like mental breakdowns, such as depression and stuff like that. So when you talked about motivating your staff, that in itself is, to me, a huge responsibility, because I've heard stories where nurses, they're at work, they're crying because of what is going on. And becoming a nurse, I know, is something that people who do it, they're going in it to help save lives. And so when this virus is coming in and taking that from them, like, a lot of nurses are breaking down. What are some of the things that you are seeing with your staff, as far as like emotional impact and mental impact, stuff like that?
Okay, so as far as what you just mentioned, it's different settings. So I'll go to both settings. In the jail setting, where I'm at majority of the time during the week,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say that we're holding up well on that side,
Okay.
because
Thank
we
God
don't
for
have any
that.
deaths. No
Thank God.
deaths.
Thank God.
Only about no more than 15 cases. People have recovered. We only had
Yeah.
to send out one to the hospital. This whole, you know, well, two we sent out to the hospital. One got admitted, and one went to the hospital and came back.
Okay.
So I would have to say that it's being the nurses at the jail are really holding up well, because yeah, we're on the front line and yeah, we're taking care of COVID patients, but thank God they haven't gotten, like, a lot of the age groups too. You got to understand,
Mm-hmm.
when COVID hits somebody that is immunocompromised, you're going to get a bad result. The
Yeah.
children are holding up well with it. They find that young adults, 20s, 30s, healthy young adults are holding up well and recovering fine with it.
Good.
But
Good.
it's the
After that.
immunocompromised people, and it's the elderly that are not really, it's hard for them to recover from it. So we've been blessed, I would say, that
Yeah.
half the population that got it were like early 20s, 18, 21, 23. And the other half were like maybe early 40s to 50s. And the one guy that got hospitalized was in his 50s.
Okay.
Right. And he's actually recovering right now.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we didn't have no deaths. So they're dealing with it. Don't get me wrong, they're fighting it and making sure that they protect themselves from actually, you know, getting it, and doing the best they can to take care of the patients that we have with it. But they're not seeing it to the extent of what the hospital nurses are seeing it too, because
Okay.
they're seeing the hospital nurses are seeing the ones that are like really, really sick, ventilators, and you know what I mean. The hospital nurses are the ones that's really, really catching it more than the correctional nurses. So it's two different settings that I work in.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Okay.
As far as what I don't get a chance to see that much
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not there during the week. Like if I was in it 5 days a week, I would see so much more. I'm only there every other weekend for 16 hours. You know,
Okay.
so the times that, and you got to understand, I recovered myself from COVID. So I was out of work.
Yes, I wanted to get into that. I really
I was
wanted to
out of
get
work.
in there.
I
Yeah.
was like the very beginning when it was really, really bad and out of control. I was out during that time. So I actually only been back to work for 3 weeks now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is my second time going back to the hospital. This evening will be my second time since
Mm-hmm.
I recovered. So like
Okay.
let's just say like last 2 weeks when I went, it was the hospital was packed out. Literally we had 12 people waiting in the ER for a bed that were
Wow.
already admitted but waiting to get a bed. We had
That's
one
crazy.
cold that night while I was there. And then a couple other people that just really were not in good condition, you know.
Man. Man.
So
Oh, man.
the nurses at the hospital are really worn out.
I'm
Um,
sure. I'm
they're really worn out.
sure.
But a lot of even with the jail, we have hotlines. They've developed hotlines for nurses, mental
Mm-hmm.
health type of hotlines where, you know, if they're going through something, they can call in and get, you know, some services and, you know, speak to therapists and, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So going back to your personal experience with the virus, you mentioned that you at one point became a victim of this virus. Thank God. Okay. Thank God that you are here. You know, to talk about it. You know, you sound strong. You sound healthy, and I am so grateful to God for that. What was it like though when you were under this virus?
well, it's definitely I would have to say to a certain extent it was kind of scary because it was so many unknowns. We
Right.
don't know this, we don't know that, we don't know this, we don't know that. But you gotta have some faith. You gotta have
Gotcha.
that faith. That's where that faith or
Um,
fear comes in. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? So, and then the knowledge of nursing and knowing what to do to care for myself,
Mm-hmm.
was it definitely helped, and I definitely could understand it
Mm-hmm.
because I was there in action firsthand with
Mm-hmm.
myself. So, like for instance, my symptoms were fever. That's what really triggered me to actually go to the hospital. I woke up one morning with the fever, and
Okay.
I just was feeling drained. Just wasn't feeling like myself. I literally felt like if I got out the bed and even tried to push forward to work,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have. How could I? You know, I felt like I couldn't get up out the bed. Number one, and then if
Right.
I was to make it to get out of bed, how could I function all day feeling like this? So I
Right.
said that was first and foremost. I said, okay, no, not going to be able to make it to work today, and doesn't make sense to just lay here and it let me go see. what's going on. So I went to the hospital or whatever, and I actually had like body aches too and chills and stuff like that. So I went over to the hospital, and at first the doctor was going to test me for the flu because the symptoms that I was displaying was more like what we see
similar, right?
Okay. So when he realized that I was a nurse, and he said, "Well, are you actively working?" I said, "Yeah, I work for a correctional facility full time, and then I work at the hospital every other weekend." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I have to test you for COVID-19 because you meet the criteria. Because they have like protocols and stuff in the hospital. Like, okay, well, if I wasn't a healthcare worker, he probably would have tested me for the flu, and I wouldn't even knew I had it.
Right.
See? But because I was a healthcare worker, he had to test me for COVID-19. So, okay, make a long story short, he tested me for the flu plus the COVID. And it literally, at that time when I got sick, it was taking 7 days to get results back. 7. And that's a long time compared to
a long time.
what it's taking now. Now it's like a 3-day turnaround.
Okay.
But 7 days. So literally by the time I got my results back, my fever was going, body ache was going, and I was feeling good by the time they gave me the results.
Right.
So let's say if I went to the hospital, today's Monday, I didn't get it back to the next Sunday. So literally I had I had fevers for about 5 days. It took 5 days to break the fevers, but I was literally like, I have, of course, all my machines here, thermometer, everything I need, that I would have at the hospital, I have here in the home, like, for our own home. And, I was basically like doing all my vitals, keeping up with my vitals, like every 4 hours doing my vital signs, blood pressure, pulse, temperature, heart rate, the whole 9, and making sure that I medicate around the clock. So they gave me azithromycin, and I was taking that. They gave me a
what is that? Azithromycin?
That's the antibiotic that they're treating it with now. Like literally, if somebody's in the hospital right now, they'll be on azithromycin. They'll be on zinc, vitamin C, and the medication that Donald Trump was pushing, and they were saying that it's really not working.
Oh, but it's actually turned out to work.
They saying that they realizing that it's not really working, but I still see a couple patients that's still on it. The 2 weeks ago when I was at work at the hospital, I saw a couple patients that were still on it because they have like a cocktail basically that they have, each person that has it gets the same, cocktail basically of medication. Unless they see something going wrong, then they may change 1 or 2 up patient specifically. But for the most part, they put everybody on the same thing. So I didn't have that medication though because I didn't have any upper respiratory symptoms. I just had like the body aches and the chills and the fever and things of that nature. So I just had the azithromycin, and then I put myself on the vitamin C.
Okay.
But basically, I was noticing, as far as myself, that the fevers were like coming back to back. So basically, like you take Tylenol now and you don't take Tylenol in 4 hours, that fever is definitely coming back. So I just, once I watched it, I monitored it for like a day and a half. I said, okay, well, I need to just keep this Tylenol going round the clock every 4 to 6 hours and wean myself off of it slowly to see if the fever's letting up.
Okay.
And that's what I did, because when the fevers come, the body aches come. And that's very painful. So it's like, because I'm a nurse and I know what to look out for, I was able to actually treat my own self and really like monitor what was going on with me.
Gotcha.
And pay attention to it closely. But I was also noticing that my O2 status was low. Like,
which is oxygen.
Oxygen level should be at a 95 to 100. My oxygen level was going down to like a 92, 93. Never dropped under 90, because then that's when really you need to seek, go back to the hospital and seek some more medical care.
That's when the ventilator comes in? Is that when the ventilator come in?
I wouldn't really say that's when the ventilator comes in, because with the ventilator, it's multiple things. When you, it's multiple things with the ventilator. But no, that just means that I would have had to go seek some, I might have had to be on oxygen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The ventilator comes in when your oxygen level drops way, way lower. We have to go way, way lower than, just 90 or 88 or 80. It would be very, very low, where the oxygen is not doing anything anymore, So anyway, make a long story short, I never dropped below 92, which it was abnormal, but it was never bad where I had to actually go into the hospital. But I was actually able to treat myself at home. And then I noticed my heart rate was like higher than what it usually be. Usually my heart rate is always resting at like 65, 70. I'm usually calm for the most part. So my heart rate is usually always good. I don't suffer from any chronic illnesses. I'm in good shape, good health. but
Thank
I
God.
noticed my heart rate was climbing to like maybe 115, and a normal heart rate shouldn't be over 100. So these are just some of the things that I noticed that were happening with me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a person that doesn't know anything about, nursing or the medical field or anything, I wouldn't even only just say nursing, but doesn't know how to really like decipher between what's a good pulse or what. This is why I could understand why at the beginning so many people were, and it's slowing down now. If you see the rate of death, it's really kind of slowing down now. But now I can see why so many people were passing
Because they
away.
didn't
Because
know,
it gets
right?
out of control, and you have to really keep up with it. And they give it. Some people, they send you home if you're not real bad, and then you're supposed to just know how to take care of yourself, And then some people are living in homes where they don't have nobody to help them. Like I was blessed to have my husband,
Right.
he's an EMT, he works in an ER, so I was blessed to have him to help me out. You know what I mean? When I really, really wasn't feeling good enough, I had that person that could say, okay, here, come on, eat something. Or,
Nice.
Here's your medicine. Take, you know what I mean? Like I did have that extra set of hands.
Yeah.
And I was quarantined for 14 days. I made sure my kids stayed away from me for 14 days. So that was the rough part. Just not being able to the go outside part or the go to work part, I could cope with that. But just the fact of not being able to, have my kids around me and have to be set off for them for 14 days was just, quite a bit. Especially my little ones. I have a set of twin girls that are only 5, so they're really they weren't even in the household at all.
Thank God.
Out the household because
they're
like, they need attention and they like to be underneath me a lot, so they were completely out the household.
Right.
So I recovered or whatever, and like I said, it didn't get too bad for me. It was manageable.
Good.
But I wouldn't say it wasn't, painful or, but I was able to manage it because of my knowledge, you know what I mean? And because I did have that extra knowledgeable set of hands in the house. So I was blessed.
Yeah, thank God for that. Because, like you said, a lot of what about those people that don't have anyone in the house? Number one.
Right.
Number two, it's like, a lack of knowledge. Like people, you're hit with this virus that is so much. It's almost like the flu, because you mentioned like the going to the ER and them almost testing you for the flu, because the symptoms, are kind of similar to the flu. You know what I mean? And then someone could be sitting at home thinking, oh, it's just the flu. Let me take Tylenol. Let me just, whereas there's a need to actually
and
go.
The thing about COVID-19, it could go left at any given time. So that's why you got to know what you're looking out for and how to watch it, because it could go left at any given time.
So wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say what? No matter what you think it is, go like when should someone go get tested, and when should someone just ride it out? Like how they say, just stay quarantine or whatever.
Okay. Here's what I suggest. Number one, there's testing sites that are still open as far as I know. I know Hudson Regional Hospital, where I work at, is a testing site. I have to see what's going on. I can give you some more updates once I get to work in a little bit, but I have to see if they're still actually up and running, because when I went 2 weeks ago, they were still actually up and running and testing.
Okay.
But the testing sites are available. They're all over. I could provide you some information too later on that you can post with some of the testing sites for New Jersey.
Good.
I would suggest that if you're feeling, because let's be for real, it's May. Flu is pretty much out the window. It's going. So at this given moment, if you're feeling, they just updated the CDC website, by the way, last Sunday.
Okay.
Because what's happening is we have to report. Even me, I'm the reporter on my day, my weekday job at the jail. We have to report all the signs and symptoms, and they're tracking this to see who's getting chills, who's getting fevers. They're tracking it. So now what they did is they upped it, because first it was cough, shortness of breath, and fever. That's what it was at the beginning when it first started, way back in February. Now it's coughs, fever, chills, shortness of breath, mileage, like being weak. They updated it, so you guys can go on and take a look at the CDC website and see the updates. They just updated, so now it's about maybe I believe it's 8 different things. So if you're experiencing at least 2 of the 8 different things on that CDC list, and I could probably send you a little snippet of
Okay.
the different signs and symptoms so that you can post that as well. I
Okay.
suggest calling up one of the testing sites and going to get the test done. Now I will tell you this. IgM is out now. I got an email last night from a pediatric place that are now seeing adults and kids. They're seeing whole families. PM Pediatrics. They have the IgM test. Now let me explain IgM.
Yeah. Please.
It's two different parts of the test. One part of the test shows if you're actively COVID right now.
Okay.
And one part of the test will show if you've been exposed at some point to COVID-19 and have developed antibodies. Because I want to get my whole family. Within the next 2 weeks, I will have my whole family. You get your blood drawn for this one. Because I know a lot of people are afraid to go get the COVID-19 swab because they're scared to put it up their nose. And it is very painful, but it's maybe a 10-second discomfort. And it's worth knowing what's going on in your body.
Yeah.
It's worth knowing. Okay? You wouldn't want to have something and it gets so bad and you go so down in the dumps that it takes 3 days to get results back, and now you're not faring well. And literally, we're waiting 3 days for your results to come back, and we're treating you as possible COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. With COVID, if you catch it from the beginning, you'll fare well.
Gotcha.
The longer you wait, the better it's going to get.
Yes.
I know a nurse that was in denial. We were saying, oh, go get tested. You should go get tested. No, it's just allergies. It's just bronchitis. This nurse went down so far that she literally was hospitalized for a couple days and had to be put on oxygen,
wow.
25%, which is really, really high.
The earlier the better.
And everything. So the earlier the better. Had she went the first couple days when the cough set in and the fever, it wouldn't have went that far. But because she waited, that's when her treatment was that much more, because she waited.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's about catching it early. So like I said, when we hang up off this call, I'm going to send you some snippets. I'm going to send you some different information. You'll have that so that you can post. And like I said, if anybody has at least 2 to 3 of those symptoms off that list, I suggest just setting up with a testing site. Going to get tested to find out and get the medication, in your system, and then just follow it all the way through. Even if you are COVID positive, get your blood drawn later on, get that IgM test, and find out what your antibodies is. Because, with any pandemic like this, they always say, with pandemics from the past, I know 1918, it was the flu influenza pandemic that came out, and they said that pandemic lasted for about 1.5 years. So we have wishful thinking, hoping that this is going away, but it's a possibility that it may not even go nowhere and just running straight into the fall. We don't know. There's so many unknowns. So this is why you want to know what's going on with your
body.
Yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
very
you
important.
Keep up with your health.
Very important. Very important.
Very important.
Very important. Thank you. I know you have to get ready to go to work, and I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come on here and to share your experience, to share advice. And I'm hoping everyone who watches this broadcast would really, if you don't get anything else, it's very important that you take care of your body, know your body, love yourself enough that the slightest thing, I don't care, even if it's just one call, just be mindful of your body, love yourself enough to want to go get tested, go find out what is going on. It's better that you go and they tell you that it's not, than, like Mona said, 7 days later, it becomes a more grievous situation. So we are living in a time right now where it's very important to really, keep up with yourself, keep up with loved ones. I talk to people and I'm telling people, stay connected. Go find out what's going on with that person you haven't spoken to in a while. Go find out, encourage, because people need encouragement. There are people out there lonely, their mind is somewhere else. And who knows, your phone call could be a saving grace for someone. So again, thank you, Mona, for joining us. I'm looking forward to getting the information from you so I can share with everyone, so they can have a point of referral. Like they can always come back to get the information, the donations, because that's something I was thinking about myself. How can I help? And thankfully, I have someone that I can assist with, help with the donations. Passaic County Jail. I'll look out for that information to post. And again, thank you. I'm so glad. I thank God that you and your family are safe. To the other remnants out there, I'm praying that you are safe, keeping yourself safe, your family safe, and that you are well as well. And on that note, talk to you next time. Thanks,
All right.
Mona.
No problem. Take care.
Bye.